Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the shed. I am Lonnie.
Hey, good morning. I'm Candace. Welcome back.
We are full-time resellers, mostly on eBay. We also sell things on Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy a little bit. Those are all sort of side places we sell. We mostly sell on eBay, and we get the things that we sell from a lot of different places. Garage sales, estate sales. We do a lot of like we'll buy on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace sometimes. There's lots of things. We have people contact us that know what we do for a living, that maybe they do the same thing and they're getting out and they want to sell their inventory. We do buys like that. We have a few other contacts, so we have a lot of different ways. But probably our number one most reliable way to get inventory is garage sales.
Right. So, and I get asked a lot because I plan our garage sale route every Thursday night, Friday night. And I get asked a lot, like, where do you find garage sales? Like, how do you know where they are? How do you plan out your route? What do you use? What do you do? So I thought today I would kind of show y'all my process and the app that I use and the resources I use to find where we're going.
Okay.
So first I wanted to start out showing you, these are the resources I use. Now, they may not be viable in your area, but this is kind of give you an idea on places to look and things to do. Craigslist for your local town. Now, our town is outside of a big town, so I just go to that big town because that's usually where we end up. And then if you go down to for sale, there's a garage sale section here. And you can pick by day. Now, we're in the middle of the week here, so of course there's really nothing listed. Somebody does have one going on actually today. Look at that. But you can go as far out as you want. And then it'll show you some down here that are in bigger surrounding cities, which these are not really that close.
Do you usually do gallery view, or do you change it to like the list view?
No, I always do gallery view, because then whenever you, like, say they have a bunch lined up, whenever you click on it, it'll show you all the information, the sale, and then when you get that, you can just go to the next one.
Okay.
There's a little next and previous button up here. Another place I go is our local newspaper. Now, that's kind of, very rarely do I get anything on there because they do charge for their ads. So now that Facebook Marketplace is so prevalent, less and less people are using that. It's mainly the estate sale companies.
That's been a big shift, because it used to be like on when I would plan them, I would say like 4 years ago, that would be a major source of the garage sales, is the classified ads.
Right. On
the our local newspaper's website. I wouldn't actually buy the newspaper. I would just go to the website.
Yeah.
And that's falling off.
Right. All right. And since we're on the subject of estate sales, there is a website called estatesales.net. Generally, we only go to estate sales on Sunday when it's half off day. But I do kind of glance at this for the day I'm planning the route for, because sometimes there's none today, but you'll see the companies are listed here, but they will have occasionally some that are privately listed, like a family puts their ad on here. So we don't wait for Sunday to go to those, because they're more likely to wheel and deal earlier in the week.
Right.
And then the last place I do go is Facebook. On Marketplace, I know a lot of people have trouble finding them. What I do is go down to classifieds. And then when you click on classifieds, up here it has garage sale. And when you click on that, it'll bring you to, long as your filters are set, like we have our town within, which I have mine set to 50 miles. I don't have 100. And then it'll bring up garage sales in that area. And then it'll bring up some outside of your search too.
So that's just on generic Marketplace.
Right.
But you also do you also do any like Facebook?
I do.
Okay.
Search around in whatever areas you like to go garage selling in for these garage sale groups where they post addresses.
Like that's a example of one in our local area.
Right. And then there's also like resale groups. Sometimes people will post garage sales in there. Here's another one, like this.
Yep.
Something like
where
that.
people sell things usually that was created before Marketplace probably.
Right. And it's not a bad idea to get in all those groups, not just for garage sales, but to see things people are selling that they may not have posted in Marketplace. Or we all know Marketplace is so flooded that sometimes you don't see everything or even a tenth of it.
That's when you could really find good deals on Facebook is
Right.
back before Marketplace existed, and all you used were like the buy sell groups. And you had to be a member to be in there, and then so it was a smaller pool of people.
Right.
And now Marketplace has made it like way harder.
Yeah.
But they still do post garage sales in those sometimes. A lot.
Sometimes they do, and then the groups that are dedicated for the garage sales, of course, they're definitely going to be in there. Now, don't forget, whenever you're writing down your list of addresses, to also note the beginning and end times of the sale.
That's important.
That's very important. So, what app do I use? I've recently started using this app called Zio Route Planner, and I'll put a link down below. They have a desktop version, and they have a mobile app, which I'm going to show you, and they communicate with each other, which is also very important. So here you can see I've put in our starting location. You can change the state up here, and then you can change or you can put your route title. I just choose to put the date, and then you can change the date of when this route is going to happen. I don't ever bother with start time. This app was created for like couriers, so there's a lot of details in there that we really don't need, but it works for our purpose. So I put in my start location, like your home, and then you can do return to my start location. That way it makes you a round trip route. So I've already inputted some addresses, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop in another one so you can see how I do it. There's a search bar up here. It searches through Google. So you're just going to click on there.
Like through Google Maps, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. And the autocomplete is pretty decent on it.
Yeah. So here's our address we want.
And then added it down there.
And then where I put my information on the times of the sale, all I did was, let me show you what I did. I just simply clicked on it. And then in the delivery note here, I'll put my times.
Okay.
We'll say 7 to 2.
So that way later in the day, if we're going to another one and oh wait, that one ended at 11.
Right. Whenever you start getting close to like noon, you really need to pay attention to those times that the sales stop.
Yep.
Okay. So now we've got all our addresses in there. And down here, you can either navigate the way you typed them. It would put them in that order. Mm-hmm. Or you can save and optimize, and that means it's going to reroute them to the best route for you. Okay, so here we go. Here's our route.
Oops, and this is just an example. Most days we would probably have more.
A lot more, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to and these are all businesses, by the way. They're not people's home addresses. So
right.
Don't panic about that.
They're not.
So you can see over here, these are all our stops, and it even shows our times for the sales. And whenever you go over one, it kind of bounces it on the map, so you can kind of see where it is.
Okay.
Okay, so we're looking at our map. It looks pretty good, but whoa, look at this one way out here off by itself.
Yep.
We're going to take that out. That's number 8. So we're going to go down to this map and find the address for that, and we're going to go take it out. So we're going to go up here and edit route. So that was this one right here.
Yep.
So we're going to go
garbage can.
Yep, go over to the garbage can and delete it.
Well, you're doing 7.
I did the right one.
Okay.
It's okay. Oh yeah, he's right. On the map it shows 8, but on here it still shows the order you typed them.
Oh, so you have to know the name.
You have to look at the name. Don't just go by the number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So now we're going to hit save and optimize again.
I'm actually a perfect partner for this video because I don't know what you do, so I can ask questions that viewers might have.
Okay, so here's our route. That looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Now let's go over here and look at the times. 8, 8, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. The rest of them start at 7.
Mm-hmm.
So we might want to do this route
backwards.
Backwards.
Yep.
There, you can go here and click reverse route, but there's also some little quick buttons up here, reverse route.
Okay.
Yep. And then it reversed our route for us.
So now you have 7 o'clock starts and you hit your 8 o'clock starts later, which
Yep.
is what you want. Okay.
Now the next step I do is I actually print out my route.
That's because we're older.
It's because we're older, but I also use it for bookkeeping purposes.
Yep.
So you're going to go up here to your little menu and go to download report, and always do a PDF. You can do it whichever you prefer. And then it's going to bring it up for you to print.
Okay.
Now I've pre-printed one for you, and I can show you why I like to use it. I actually use it for tracking what we spent. I go in at each address and I write down, once we get back in the car, how much we spent at that sale. And then it does track the mileage for you. You can see the mileage down here. However, our mileage usually ends up being more than that because we chase signs.
Right.
Or I may have like a neighborhood sale, and I'll just put one address in there, and then in my little notes where I put the time, I'll put neighborhood sales. So we may go to more sales in there.
Yep.
So we always use our odometer in the truck, and then I write it on here.
Yeah, so it's very handy because this is, if you did go through an audit or something, we're not giving those kind of that like tax advice or anything.
This is just how we track our stuff.
But if you did go through an audit and if I was an auditor and then you're like, hang on, let me get out my folder from from June of 2021, and you have a whole bunch of these, and you have dollar amounts written next to addresses, and then you have other notes and whatnot that we ultimately have.
They're not going to dig any deeper than that.
No, like that's really good documentation of the money and the mileage.
Yep.
And so yeah, I think it's really good.
Yep. Okay, so now we've got all that. We're ready to go. It's in the morning. We're ready to go to our sale. I don't want to have to type all these addresses in, so they have a mobile app. I'm gonna click on that. I say click because I'm old and it's tap. And then under history, it shows your routes by day.
Ah, so you can pull up the date.
And I have all these in here, but you can go in and delete them once it gets bogged down. So here's our one we just created. So we're going to hit continue the trip. And then you're going to hit start my trip. And you can see here it pulls up your first stop, and you can see your start times there.
Okay.
And then we're going to hit navigate.
And now, does it pull up Google Map app?
Yes.
To do that?
It pulls up Google Map app, and it starts it for you.
So let me ask you this. Once you get to your first stop, and then you're done there, and then you're going to the next, what do you have to do on that?
Okay, so we've got to our stop. We're going to go back to here, and we're going to hit success.
Oh, okay.
And then it goes to your next one.
So that you're basically telling it like, I'm a courier and I made my drop off or whatever,
yes.
Right? That's what the app thinks anyway.
Right. So success, and then it shows you your next one.
And then you just tap navigate again.
Mm-hmm.
So you're never typing in addresses while we're out.
Correct.
In the field.
That's correct.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
Because before that, we used to do the same thing, and you can do the same thing.
I used to print up. I used to use a different app that did not have, it didn't coordinate with a mobile version like this. So I used a different website to plan my route and reroute it for us pretty much the same way. But then I had a printed out list, and every garage sale I'm having to type in the next address and keep up with, okay, wait, which street are we on? Where are we?
And yeah, that's true. And you know what? It doesn't sound like a lot, but like I get in the truck, Candace gets in the truck, and I'm just sitting there.
Yep.
Wait. And it only takes a minute, but man, that minute could make all the difference.
And while we're walking back to the truck, I actually open up my Zio Route app and go ahead and get ready for the next one. So when I get in the truck, he knows exactly which direction to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works out well. Now, like, how much is that app a month?
We're paying, there's a monthly price and then a yearly. We're doing the monthly. You do get a break with the yearly, but we're paying $15 a month on the monthly. Just because we've only been using it a few months, I wanted to make sure it was something we were going to continue to use. And so far, I am happy with it. Now, one thing I did reach out to the company about is on your route here, say you did want to manually, like, keep this route, but maybe swap these or something.
Right.
There's no way that to do it.
But you could, what you could do though is you could just manually do it on that list, right?
No, there, you can't. I say you can't do it on there. You can do it on here. So you hit this plus sign, and you go reorder stops.
Okay.
And then you can actually drag them around.
Oh, okay.
I wish they would do that.
So you could visualize it better, right?
Or my list, because sometimes I do want to reroute stuff inside the route, and so I'm not going to do it on the app because I'll get confused. So I mean, I did reach out to the company and say, you know, I wish there was a way to do it on the desktop, just because that's what we choose to use.
We've done it a lot of different ways. I used to plan it, and I still think it's not a bad way to do it. Like on I used to use the MapQuest route planner.
MapQuest route planner is really good and accurate, but like I said, you're not going to have unless they've come out with something.
But and you know what? There are probably 100 other solutions.
There's 100 other apps that are
right.
made for this. This is just the one I chose to use.
Yeah,
so.
And I can tell y'all, like, I don't have at this point, like, that used to be a big burden that I had before Candace did the route planning. So her taking over that route planning was huge. And from my perspective, I basically, like, I do talk to her about, like, she usually will show me the route, especially on Friday night. Yeah. Hey, what do you think about this or that? Do you think we should go out here? Do you think it's worth it?
Yeah.
You know, you want to go this way or that way, or, you know?
And sometimes there is a stop that's kind of out of the way, but I've made a note in my mind that that's a good stop. Like, I've seen the pictures of their stuff on Facebook or whatever. I know they have a ton of stuff that it's probably worth it for us to go out there. So keep that in mind.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose on that.
Another thing I do is when I'm planning the night before, I wait till about 9 o'clock at night, because a lot of people do not put their ads up until late.
Yep.
So if you're doing it at 5, 6 o'clock, you're missing out on a lot of ads probably.
Yeah.
So.
And like I said, there's probably a lot of I know there's a lot of other ways to do this, and everyone's going to have their own way that they like to do it, their own apps or whatever they like to use. But from my perspective, Candace does it all, and she does put a good bit of time into it. You probably put at least an hour a night.
An hour to 2 hours, depending on, you know, how many there are. Thursday nights is not as bad. Friday nights is, because there's always a ton of sales on Saturdays.
And you're pulling from so many sources, too. You are,
and then once you get them in there, sometimes you just have to make cuts, because you know there's no way you're going to get to that many sales.
Right.
So you have to kind of decide what's best for your game plan.
But I could tell y'all, once she does all that work, and then we get in the truck in the morning and we roll out, I mean, it is seamless, smooth. All the planning pays off, because we just boom, 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 go, go, go. Right. And we don't slow down at all.
Yeah.
I
feel like whenever I was like having to punch the addresses in on the road, I feel like I probably made a lot of mistakes, where it's more relaxed when you're planning your route here.
Yep.
Typing them here, you're less likely to transpose
especially
numbers.
Early in the morning, where you're trying to move quickly. You're trying to wake up. You're probably trying to eat a biscuit or something in the truck and drink some coffee, you know, and then get out, get to the sales, and get to the next one. Like, you're in a hurry, so any kind of task you can cut out during that time is pretty huge.
Right.
So.
Yep, I hope y'all got some tips out of this. Even if you don't use this route planner, at least hopefully you got some tips on how to find your sales.
Yeah, we've been doing this a lot. I mean, we have gone. We have gone to thousands and thousands and thousands of garage sales. So I think we do have a pretty good bit of experience here with this. And,
I've even used route planning on, if you're going to big highway sales, like we've done the Highway 127 sale a couple of times. And a lot of those big sales have Facebook groups, like the Abita Springs one we just went to a couple weekends ago, where they put up a list of addresses. And I'll use that for my route planning too, if it's even not in our local area. And it at least gets you some kind of route to get around the town, and then you can stop at sales that they may not have posted in the group.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and you can choose different entry points too.
Right.
Like, if you don't want to. Like, if everybody's coming from the larger town to the smaller town in this direction, well, maybe you go around all that and start at the back side of the sail or
That's
something,
actually
right?
what we did. We figured there'd be a lot of people coming from one direction, so we started in the other. So just some little tips for y'all.
That was pretty good, Candace. Thank you.
You're welcome. You ready to pull orders?
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, first item is on 2 Bravo Panasonic mini cassette tape recorder.
2 Bravo?
Sealed. Sealed.
Sealed. This is from the K&D buy. And it is sealed. It's definitely sealed. This is heat sealed, like around the all around the edges. The only issue it had, you can see, yeah, it looks like it's been like bent right below the player, and the seal, like, or the packaging is cracked there, and there. So
that's all for $56.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right, in the cube, Nuance Dragon.
Yeah, it's, well, it's Dragon naturally speaking. Yeah. This is from the K&D buy also, or one of them.
What is that? It teaches you how to speak like a dragon?
Yeah, that's exact. Yep, that's right. What's the next thing?
Why didn't we keep that?
No, Candace, it's like voice recognition software.
Why is it called Dragon?
I don't know. I don't know. That product's, this is version 13. It's been around forever. Yeah.
$43.
Yeah, that is sealed too.
We have 2 Fontanini.
What?
Fontanini.
No, we don't.
I mean, Italiano.
Yeah. Come on, get it right. I watched the sale. Watched the sales pretty close yesterday. So when she said we have 2 Fontanini, I'm like, what? How did I miss that? 2 Italianos, and man, I'm still kind of upset that we let that
listing.
We had that list. That listing had thousands of views. It had like over 100 watchers. I know it. I know all the watchers were viewers, but still. And then it had a lot of sales history. eBay, it was probably like one of our better algorithm listings on eBay.
Yep.
And we lost it all because we let the count go to 0.
Yep.
Without having, well, we showed y'all yesterday the out of stock thing. The out of stock option was off.
All right, we sold a J.R.R. Tolkien's War in Middle Earth game on 1 Bravo.
Okay. That is this guy right here, and it does have the cool map in it. We're missing the manual though.
Somebody probably bought that just for the map.
Might have. I mean, like, I didn't even look, but I'm assuming that manual is basically impossible to find on its own, too. So I probably should have looked.
Yeah. $22.49 for that. 2 Bravo Sony radio parts only.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Golly, it sold it for that much, not working.
Yeah.
What does it go for working?
If this radio would have been working, this would have been a $200 radio, 200 plus. Like if it was in really nice condition, you would have been looking at $250. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, the keypad wouldn't work. I couldn't get it to run on batteries at all, but it would turn on and play static if it was plugged in. So yeah, still happy with that though.
Sold for $50, not working.
Yeah, and look, so far, Kevin and Danielle, Kevin Danielle, Kevin Danielle, Kevin Danielle, and then that's our big cookbook buy.
Yeah. Water filter in the cube, genuine GE MWF.
MWF. Okay. It's like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does say MWF right there.
That's all for $9.
Yep, that's from K&D buy also. Everything is. You almost wonder if we hadn't bought from K&D, would we have sold anything today? Hardly.
All right, we have a hat in the hat box. Copeland's hat.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's like a burgundy color.
Yeah, I actually have to ship this. It's. We're gonna have to take them all out.
Yeah, I think
Bring them up. Bring it over
I'm
here.
not seeing the color though, so I'm thinking I might have a wrong location.
I don't think so. I think it's probably just buried.
Because it hadn't been that long ago we bought that thing.
No, it has been. It's probably.
It's not in here on me.
It's not.
No. I don't see the color. It's like a burgundy color.
All right, Candace did find it in box C, I think. It was just in the wrong spot. I'm glad she had it, because guy messaged us last night asking if we could ship this to an address in Louisiana.
Yep.
Because he's flying in like tomorrow, and he was having us ship it to his friend's house.
Yeah, it's staying where it came from.
Yeah, or he's gonna wear. I don't know what's going on, but
that's all for $15.
yeah.
All right, in the chest drawer, a Catwoman figure. It's a little figure. It came with like a Blu-ray when the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a little figure that was a bonus with the Blu-ray.
Oh, it's very small.
Yeah.
I didn't notice. Okay, yeah, very tiny.
That sold for $25.49.
Oh wow! All right.
This is one of my favorite. I think my favorite hat from the Kevin and Danielle buy.
Yeah. For
Frank Foxtrot, Universal Studios.
Frank says you can just say Frank.
Okay.
For Frank. For Frank. That's
It's blue.
Yeah, I got it. I found it right away. That's old Frank over at what's their channel called?
F&J Treasures.
Yeah. Well, don't we have a sticker or
I
something?
have a coffee mug.
Yeah, you do.
Let's put the stickers
Oh,
on.
their sticker.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. FJ Treasure Special Delivery. That's it.
Yeah.
And then Candace has Candace has her coffee mug right there where she keeps some pencils and stuff.
Yep.
But here's that hat.
I love that hat.
Want to keep it? Want me to cancel the order?
Uh-huh.
I'm not.
Let's sell for $25.
Okay. I won't do it.
We sold a Deuce to Delta.
All right. I did. It's the last Deuce in the box. I did.
I have some more up there.
Oh yeah, I know. We got plenty. It feels like we have an infinite supply.
But if you don't remember, don't forget that box was like full at one time.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I was just gonna tell them last night after work I did cross post all of the cookbooks over to Macari, so we'll see how that works.
That just sold for $10.
Okay.
And the last item going out today is on 10 Charlie, Microsoft Home Office Home and Student 2007.
10 Charlie.
Service Desk Edition with key.
Service Desk Edition?
Yeah. It's yellow. Or orange. Something like that.
It's this guy right here.
That sold for $13.
Okay. And this came from K&D also. So, man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 things going out today, of which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 12, which makes sense. I mean, that's what we've been listing.
Yeah.
And you typically I would say at least half of our orders that we pack every day are things that we've listed recently.
Yeah.
So
that's one reason we want to try to figure out a way, to cross post after it's been listed about a week.
Right.
Because, we want to give eBay the first shot of selling the item.
Yeah, because, well, it's the best shot, actually.
Yeah.
All right, let me go ahead and get this stuff packed. All right, packages are packed. Just got to bag those up and put them out there. And Candace is shooting the ducks.
I am.
Duck hunter. Sometimes you just got to put stuff on the floor, huh?
Yeah, then I'll do them individually in the box.
Yeah. No, that'll be a good first photo anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Got to be creative when you have work in a small space like this, right?
Exactly.
a little bit different day today. We're actually going to some of this stuff in the aisle and some of the stuff on the unlisted shelf for just a bit, wrapping up some loose ends. I actually pulled this camcorder down. This thing is really cool. It's a Sony DCR PC105. I had it sitting on the shelf for a long time. I was thinking about doing some things, but I don't know. I just thought it was so cool. I didn't want to sell it yet. So finally I pulled it down and I fully tested it, and I was very happy that everything worked perfectly. As a matter of fact, I went ahead and filmed well, Candace helped too with the filming, because it's hard to film on 2 cameras simultaneously, and showed it working, and even showed output to my little tester TV. That TV. Just using the unit as a check that out. Pretty cool, huh? I'm uploading that demo vid now, and now I'm about to take the photos. And Candace, what are you up to over there?
I'm working on Walmart pins. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. And someone told us, was it in comments on the video?
Yeah, it was.
That they have a shareholders meeting coming up, and they do pin trading at that meeting or at those events. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get the rest of the Walmart pins. Maybe not today, but over the next week, you know, get the rest of them listed.
Yeah. And how many do you have left, you think, approximately?
Maybe
about,
yeah, I don't know,
30. So it's not a lot. It's a lot.
Pile right here.
It's a pile. They're pretty fast though, aren't they?
Yeah, it is. Like I go in and I do a bunch of drafts, I line them up, and I do all the pictures at once. It's a pretty quick process I have.
It's so, man, eBay, listing on eBay is so weird like that, because that's the kind of thing, like, you got a pile of like 40 of them or whatever, and you're like, you don't get like that excited about listing that kind of stuff.
It's not fun, but it's easy.
And look, each one is 10. You know that each one is going to be about $10, maybe 12, 15 in some cases, mostly 10. And you also know that the chance of that thing selling quickly is near zero. But it's like, it's almost like a savings account or something, because we have experience with these now, and y'all know, if y'all been watching for a while, we've been going to these little buckets up here. What, like, I don't even know. I don't even know how many of these we've sold.
Say I have 30 of them here. Even if they're all just $10, that's $300 sitting right here.
Right, but it's hard to list stuff like that when you have other stuff, because you know that won't sell fast.
Right.
But we have the experience that if we list them, we like every day or maybe every other day, we come up here and we pull another one. Right. And we've sold. I'm sure we're over 1,000 in sales on those things now.
For sure, yeah.
And we've gotten, like, well, here's the number that you've gotten listed. You've listed almost $3,000. That's the number right there.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's not the board games?
I'm not positive. No, it might be the board games.
I think that's the board games.
I think the numbers are pretty close though, because weren't you over 3K on those?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a good move to go ahead and get them up, because if you don't do it now, when you going to do it? Like everything's like that, you know. And that's a proven winner for us.
Yeah.
So
it's like an evergreen.
It is. Now, and it's good because you're listing that, which we know is going to be long tail, slow burn, whatever. And I'm listing this, and I'm expecting this to be probably quick flip within a week for 160 or so. That's my guess anyway.
You got some other cameras over there with notes on them. You listing those?
Yeah. So, yeah, these I looked these cameras up first, and I glanced at their condition, and I felt good enough about them to go ahead and order chargers. So I ordered a total of 4 chargers for these cameras. I think the average sale on those cameras is probably going to be about $35 to $40 per camera. Now, some of them are going to be less than others, and some will be a little more. I think one of them is probably going to be about a $60 camera or so. And I just spent about $35 on chargers.
Right.
To sell, if they all work, probably about $150 worth of cameras. But
You can't sell them without the chargers because you don't know if they work.
Right, and if you sell those kind of cameras untested, you can get $10.
If it sells.
If it sells at all, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's one of those spots where it's like, what do you do? And then when you get the chargers in, this happens too.
And they don't work.
And then the camera doesn't work.
Well, that's when you just sell the charger back on eBay.
Or you keep it or whatever. I don't know. But I keep all these things. I've kept them in the past. I'm like, oh, I might need that one day.
And then when you need it.
When you need it, you can't find it. And you don't even know what it goes to. It's like, oh, what are you going to do? Keep like a national archive of chargers?
No, but we could utilize these small buckets and label them, camera chargers.
Yeah, I guess.
You know,
there's so many models of cameras and chargers out there too. I don't know. I get kind of like overwhelmed with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Holding on to like specific little parts and things because I'm not good at getting back to where I can put my hands on them and grab them.
That's what I'm saying. If we moving forward from this point on, organize them, and we can even store them, keep them off site.
It sounds horrible. I cringe. My skin crawls just even thinking about that. Like, I'm actually okay. Like, most of those chargers are like $6.99 free ship or something. You know, I'm almost okay with selling every charger that comes in and buying chargers when I need them. Like, I'm almost okay paying that tax for not doing the other thing.
Not having to store them.
Yes. Because you know what you end up with? You end up with like 300 chargers and a big mess, right? A big pile of mess. I don't want that.
A big pile of deuce.
Big pile of deuces. That's pretty much right. I actually forgot that eBay sales data now goes back 2 years, which is very handy. So I was able to look at all of our orders, and we have, and I searched Walmart pen. So since we started selling Walmart pens, we have sold, well, it's 69 orders. There are quite a few 2 and 3 pen orders. So it might look more like 90 pens or so that have sold on eBay. But anyway, the total is $972 in sales on eBay. That does not include shipping. So that is just the item price only, and then we would charge shipping on top of that. So just the sales
before fees.
Before fees, and not including the shipping that the buyer paid, it was $972. So if you add in the ones that we sold on Etsy and have we sold any on Mercari?
I don't think so.
So yeah, but we have sold what, maybe 5 on Etsy or so.
So and about another $50 or.
Yeah, some of them were actually higher price. We sold the higher price ones on Etsy.
Yeah.
Like the $20, $15 pens, whatever. So we've definitely sold over $1,000 worth of these things now. So yeah, that is definitely time well spent. It's just a longer investment of time sitting up in that box before it gets sold. Well, I got caught up in editing video, and then Candace got done with work and she left, and I realized we haven't wrapped. So this is me telling y'all goodbye without Candace. She is working on dinner now, which I'm about to go join her. So thanks so much for watching. We will see y'all again very soon. Bye, y'all.